Check, 1, 2. Check.
Together, finally getting it built. Without any ado, here is ex-Chief Warren Ramskill, current captain of company, whatever, chemical. Here you go.
Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Appreciate everybody coming out on this warm day. My name is Warren Ramskill. I'm an ex-chief of the Locust Valley Fire Department, and I'm the current captain of Chemical Company Number 1. I am humbled to once again stand before family and friends of the 5th Battalion and host a ceremony christening a new 542. It was 34 years ago that we stood on this very apron to christen the old rig. Ironically, I was captain of the Chemical Company 34 years ago for the old truck's christening, and here I am again. As much as Chemical Company loved and adored the old rig, she was recently sold to the Wall Township, New Jersey Fire Marshal's office, where she will respond as a fire investigations unit. I have it on very good authority because they constantly send me pictures that the old girl has been put to work in all sorts of conditions, including severe snow, blinding rain, and has even had its winch pressed into service during an auto accident. The old rig served us well and is apparently doing the same for New Jersey. This new truck was an exciting project to be a part of. A lot of technology has changed in the 30-plus years since the truck committees were formed. Our mission, however, has remained the same. The concept of a wet rescue was groundbreaking in 1991. The concept today is sort of standard. There are many reasons why having a truck that performs multiple roles well makes sense. So when we were given the green light to proceed with this new truck, we did not change the formula. We just made it more ergonomic and brought the convenience of modern technology forward. The new truck is a 2025 Spartan aluminum cab with a 4x4 chassis. The body is stainless steel with aluminum roll-up doors. The body itself was fabricated by Custom Fire Apparatus in Wisconsin. Our engine is 450 horsepower. It's the last of the Cummins L9 six-cylinder turbo diesel engines. The transmission is a fire service rated Allison 3000. The pump a waterless 750 gallon per minute single stage. The water tank holds 550 gallons. There is a 10,000 watt PTO driven hydraulic generator. We have a standalone air compressor driven off the generator for unlimited air supply for running all sorts of air tools and airbags. There's also a telescopic light tower that extends up 10 feet from the body. A booster line supplies water through 210 feet of 1-inch diameter hose. The hose bed carries 500 feet of 1 3/4 attack line, 250 feet of 2.5-inch attack line, and 450 feet of 3-inch supply line. Room was allotted to house our ever-expanding array of vehicle extrication tools and supporting equipment while bringing the tools to the user more readily. We have relocated and consolidated all of our ice and cold water rescue equipment into the topside coffin boxes. SCBAs, irons, 5 different saws, multiple lights, both battery and corded, hand tools, meters, extension cords, suitcase generators, grinders, pry bars, finesse tools, extinguishers, cribbing, wrenches, sockets, shovels, thermal imaging camera, car jacks, elevator keys, flares, traffic wands, hazmat patch kits, absorbent pads, speedy dry. The list goes on and on. All fit onto the truck neatly and readily accessible. When we open up the doors after the wet down and you get to take a look, you'll see that we went a little crazy OCD guy here with the P-Touch label maker. We have a mantra in Chemical Company. If we don't have it, you probably don't need it. This truck can do a lot of things very well. But that being said, we purposely did not specify large diameter supply line, a 2,000 gallon per minute pump, no deck gun. That's what our engine companies are for. We did not set out to steal anybody's job. We just want to go out and solve problems every day, whatever they may be. I'd like to take this opportunity to say some thank yous because they are very well deserved. I'd like to start by thanking the Board of Fire Commissioners. Obviously, they paid for the truck. Without going into the boring details, let's just say that the start of this project was a bit bumpy. It got a lot bumpier along the way, and then suddenly it smoothed out and ultimately turned into the fine truck that you see before you today. The Truck Committee and Chemical Company appreciates the open-mindedness of the board, the fact that they were willing to hear us out, and ultimately trust us as the end users of the truck to design and implement a vehicle that will serve the district needs well into the future. The board recognized the need for a multi-tool truck that can act as equal parts engine, rescue, brush truck, tow truck, light truck, water rescue truck, and everything in between. For that, I thank the board. I'd also like to recognize one commissioner in particular, the Board of Fire Commissioners Chairman, Commissioner Ralph Longo. Ralph asked every single week for a progress report. He was engaged and he was interested. He supported our decisions and was there every step of the way to make sure we had and got everything we needed to make this truck what it is. For that, we thank you. Next, I would like to thank the Office of the Chiefs of the Locust Valley Fire Department, Chief of Department James Bonaslawski, First Assistant Chief Arthur Sandstrom, Second Assistant Chief Gabriel Roberg. I thank them for their unwavering support, their belief in our company mission, and their trust that we would get the job done. Next up, I'd like to thank our dealership and acknowledge them. Long Island Proliner, Billy Giorgio, the owner, and our good friend Brian Stone, who is also our salesperson. Special shout out to Brian, who had to contend with an untold amount of changes, corrections, clarifications, and for suffering through my relentless OCD. The work performed on the front end made for a much better product on the back end. I'd like to next introduce the Chemical Company Truck Committee. Edwin McCoy, 42-year member, and he's co-chairman. Myself, co-chairman. Arthur Sandstrom, our current First Assistant Chief, and Gordon Graham. If you have ever served on a truck committee, you know that it requires countless hours of meetings, travel, inspections, specification rewrites, more inspections, more meetings, and more rewrites. Our committee was a mixture of experienced truck committee members, myself and Ed were on the last committee, and newer committee members. This mix brought a host of different perspectives to the table, which ultimately made for a better truck. I am deeply grateful for the time and effort they each gave to this project. Next, I would like to thank each and every member of Chemical Company Number 1 for their unwavering belief and support of this project, for embracing the concept of a wet rescue, and for trusting the committee to build a truck that will perform for the next 30 years. I would like to thank the officers and members of the remaining companies of the Locust Valley Fire Department for their support and belief that once the hotline rings, we all act as one. I acknowledge and appreciate the members of Chemical Company as well as the rest of the membership of the department, who are the ones that ride this truck on a daily basis and will keep this rig active well into the future. To all those who ride our rig, support our mission, and are bound by a brother and sisterhood comprising like-minded individuals sharing a common passion for helping others in need, I thank you. Lastly, I'd like to thank the chiefs, officers, and members of the entire 5th Battalion, not only for being present today for the Wetdown, but for being there for us each and every time a mutual aid call of assistance goes out. We have formed bonds that grow deeper over time, and I thank you for giving me 500 best friends that I will always cherish. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the Locust Valley Fire Department Chaplain, Reverend Susan Converse, for the blessing of 542.
Please pray with me. Holy and faithful God, we gather today with grateful hearts as we welcome this new fire truck into the life of our department. We give you thanks for the many hands that designed it, built it, inspected it, and delivered it safely to us. We also give thanks for the generations of firefighters whose dedication and sacrifice have made this day possible. As water is poured upon this truck, reminding us of a tradition that honors both service and new beginnings, we ask your blessing upon all who will serve with it. Grant wisdom to those who train with it, courage to those who respond in it, and calm to those who must make difficult decisions in moments when every second matters. May your mercy go before every call, your strength uphold every firefighter, and your peace surround every family who waits for their safe return. Bless this department, bless this community, and guide us all in the work of protecting and serving our neighbors. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Converse. Before the water flows, just remember that we're going to have a barbecue straight after the water flows over at the Big Valley, which has recently been rebuilt by the Board of Fire Commissioners. Thank you for that. It was done on time, and I'm sure it was under budget. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to call up the First Assistant Chief, Arthur Sandstrom, who will perform the christening. Once the champagne bottle is broken, let it rain.
That's why I came, because every fifth battalion Wetdown I've been to always turns into a water fight. I knew I